job. Hey.
I'm sorry. I was grooving to the beat.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the SyFy Sistas live show on a Tuesday night. We're so excited to be with you. I'm Sister Tamia. Before we get started, I want to say that the official sponsor, Ore Silversmiths, proudly serves as the official sponsor of the live show. Explore Ore Silversmiths for beautifully crafted jewelry. This is your cue, SyFy Sistas, to show your jewelry, including the SyFy Sistas collection. Ding, ding, ding!
Ding,
by
ding.
clicking the link provided in the show description. And this week's live show is proudly sponsored by Dr. Muhammad Noor, our buddy, hi Muhammad, who serves as the executive provost and professor of biology at Duke University. He is also a technical science consultant for the Star Trek television series, the host of BioTrekkie, woohoo, and the author of the best-selling book, Live Long and Evolve. So thanks, guys, for sponsoring this show. I'm Sister Tamia. I'm the host. I'm here, joined by my sisters, Yvette Blackman-Tom.
Hello.
Sabrina Wood. I forgot who I was going to say. And Fran T.
And I see what's happening.
What's happening? That's right. Oh, look at her changing it up on me.
All right,
what's
change
happening?
it up.
That's right. We have Star Trek royalty in the house. We have the woman who defined an entire generation of women Star Trek fans. And we are literally all geeking out so hard. And she is none other than Terry Farrell. Welcome to the show, madam.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to finally be here.
We excited too. Okay, I just really quickly, I want to share this one memory. On the cruise, we are on the cruise, and we're going to take the group DS9 picture. And we walk up, and Sirach says, "Hey, SyFy Sistas," and you turn around, and you're like, "SyFy Sistas," and like all the men of the crew, like Jeffrey Combs and all these people are like looking at us like, "Who are they?" And like you and Anand and Sirach were like, "Yo, SyFy Sistas."
It was crazy.
It was.
Oh my goodness.
And we had to do it twice.
And we had to do it twice.
Right. Because you were all over Andy Robinson, that's why.
Yeah.
I was.
Fran and Andy Robinson cuddling it up together. I was like, what's happening over here?
All that, yeah. Y'all know me.
Well, he's amazing.
He really is.
He is amazing.
He is.
But so are you.
Yes.
More importantly, like we have you with us tonight, and you, my dear.
I want to check out your jewelry.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, that is some gorgeous stuff.
Well,
Isn't it cool?
Yes, it's very cool.
Crafted, silver crafted jewelry.
I knew you had jewelry. I would have come a lot sooner.
We'll work for jewelry.
Yes.
Preferably
a red box instead of the light blue.
Okay. There we go.
A little more high end.
High end, yes. I get
I'm not
that.
saying I'm doing it right now.
The chat is going off about Terry Farrell.
And look who's here.
Hi, Mohammed.
Yes. He wanted to be a sponsor just for you. He was like, I love Terry so much.
Oh, he's such a sweet person.
He really is.
He is.
So,
wow. Thank you, Wanda.
I know, right? We got so much cool. We are so there's a love affair with you.
Okay.
And we just have to get this straight off the bat. We're going to tell you. We're telling everybody. We're putting it down for everybody to know. There were two women in our lives. First of all, there was one show that mattered once it came on the air. And that was Deep Space Nine.
Matters.
I will take that however that comes.
Right. I'm just saying, like in the beginning, once it came on,
it's on right
there
now.
Was in our world. Well, okay, let me speak for myself. But in my
I'm sorry.
Does she normally let you finish a sentence?
Sorry.
No.
Well, you know, this is unusual. This is kind of unusual because you know, it's you, Terry Farrell. You know.
Yeah, usually they do let me do my job, but you know.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna let you do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue. Okay,
Okay,
so
go ahead, sorry.
Deep Space Nine came on. It rocked our worlds. For this particular group, it is our favorite Star Trek of all the Star Treks.
Thank
And
you.
yes, and from episode 1, from the first episode.
Wow.
Yes, and part of that reason was you.
Mm-hmm.
And the character of Dax, like you and Nana. Literally, we had no other strong female role models like you guys. I mean, no shade to TNG crew. I'm saying
No,
like,
but we
no
were,
shade.
yeah,
shade.
You know,
Oh,
like
no.
they were good.
but we were different.
You were
Oh,
very
yeah.
different.
Very.
And you spoke to women like us. Like, you know, I mean, and I say that particularly as a Black woman, like we got to put up with so much shit in this world all the time. Like we don't have time to be like whinging about something. Like we got to be like serious and get to it and solve the problem. And that's what those two characters of Dax and Kira Nerys like gave us. They gave us women who were not whining about shit all the time. They just got to it, solved the problem, did the thing, kicked some ass on the way, had some love, and went on about the business. You know,
Smart and smart.
And smart. Yeah.
Yes, and smart.
Yeah.
When you first read that role of Dax, what did you think? What was going through your mind when you first met Dax?
Oh, wow. Well, when I first heard about it, they weren't interested in seeing me. And I'm wearing Invisalign too. So if I sound funny, it's because I have plastic in my mouth. Sorry. That, so you didn't think I was drunk or anything crazy.
Welcome to the party.
Later. After the show. 7 lifetimes, been a man and a woman, science officer. It'll be like the character of Spock. You'll be the Spock character. But they didn't want to see me. They were looking at other people. And I was like, well, just keep asking them. Just keep asking them. And in the meantime, I got this pilot called Red Dwarf.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Which would have been great, except for that character in the English version is an effeminate man.
Okay.
Not as funny coming from a straight white woman.
You got cat?
Not as funny. Just wasn't funny. I looked really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like cat's makeup on, so I looked cool, but it didn't work at all. So I did the pilot, got the money. The network passed on it, and then I was up to like, so have they cast Dax yet?
Right.
No. Are they ready to see me? I mean, can I go in? No. Oh yeah. So this went on from like probably January, February. I heard about it. Did the pilot of the other thing early spring. It ended. They started filming in, I want to say July, and they still hadn't cast Dax. And I didn't go in on it until August.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was hired August 24th.
So you're like the last one?
Uh-huh.
Ah.
Like there was nobody left to see.
Nobody left.
And I read for it, and then some actor or actress, to clarify, that I always read against wasn't there that day. And then they said, oh, we're going to have another test. You don't need to go because you already did it. But they didn't film anything. It was just all live. So I said, well, I want to be there. And they said, Terry, you don't have to be. They can't make you do it. I'm like, no, I don't expect, but I need to be there because for them to believe I'm really all in.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're not going to remember what I did. And what if she does? What if she shines that day? And they remember that I'm the gorgeous person that I am.
Right. Exactly.
So I did it again. And it was mind-blowing day. I was just like a dream come true. Spock was always my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Leonard a few times and he didn't remember me.
Oh.
And every time I'd have to say, I was a big fan of the original series and I'm on this new show. Yeah. I don't want to make you feel bad, but you've met me before. I'm on this new show called Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I know. Because otherwise you'd know who I was.
Exactly.
And then you start on Becker. When I was on Becker, and I said, "Okay, Leonard,
come on now,
I remember him now." And the storyline on Becker was he was an old professor of Ted Danson's character, of Becker, but he was my professor, and he didn't remember Becker. So it was like the other way, and I said, "You are not allowed to ever forget me again."
Right? Come on now, sir.
So I really got to work with him, so it was really fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Come true, getting to work with, one of my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's awesome. Wow.
Oh, now I'm going to listen to that line in Trials and Tribulations when you look at Spock and you go like,
yes.
Oh.
I was thinking about that when she said it. I was like, oh, okay. It makes sense.
Nice.
It makes sense. So I just, before we move on, I have to tell you something. This is my fangirl. I'm going to do it real quick and leave it be. So I have my middle child. I wanted to name her Jadzia, right? Her father was like, no. But her name is Jada. So that's where we got that. So I just wanted to put that out there because I always think about that. Like when I turn like, and we say Jada, or I say Jada, and if she walks by and DS9 is on, or if you're on, I'm like, oh man, that would have really worked. It would have been. She's beautiful. She looks like a Jadzia. So I still maybe if she has a daughter, we can talk them all into that one. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And she is Jadzia in spirit, yeah.
Well, yes, in my spirit, yes. I was like, no, we're not doing that. And he's supposed to be a Star Trek fan, but
yeah.
I'll tell you. But that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you got? Well, that was a good one.
The name Jadzia means warrior.
And that's another thing the character was. She was a warrior.
Yep, she was a warrior. Yep.
That blood oath
hanging with the Klingons. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah, that was great.
The more
it's fun.
The more we got to no, go ahead, please.
They were all old-fashioned gentlemen from, the days of old Hollywood.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were amazing.
Oh, wow. I love that episode.
They what?
They were all from TOS, even though they looked entirely different.
Yeah. But that was great, right?
Yeah.
They just had bad makeup on.
Right. They'd all come.
You mean blackface?
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Bring
that up.
Oh my God.
But all three of those actors had come through the Hollywood studio system. So yeah, you were right, Terry. They were the real deal from back in the day, and then went to TV.
Yeah.
Wow. They were. I love those guys. Yeah, I love Core.
Well, I love those guys, and I love the storylines that you got to do with them. I mean, those are the more they brought in the Klingon aspect of Jadzia, the more I was like, she's so dope. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I really have to give it to the writers because I mean it's all that team effort. But if they didn't write the cool stuff I got to do, I wouldn't have got to do it. So
right.
Thank goodness, and thank goodness, the studio and everything got super preoccupied with Voyager.
Right. Every time I watch it, I'm going, woof, thank God for Voyager. We would have never got these storylines.
No, we wouldn't have.
No way. No way.
like it got more and more interesting the more the show went on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I'm rewatching it on the Delta Flyers Journey Through the Wormhole. It's on, you can watch it through Patreon.
Okay.
So in rewatching it, it was like, oh, I mean, I give it a high score if I like feeling more nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of stories that, you know, you start watching them again. And it's like, oh, no, even if I don't remember the episode or I never saw it before because I really wasn't in it very much. And I would think, why are we finding out in the last 5 minutes what's happening? Well, I want to give me some clues along the way. Don't just hit in the head with the answer.
This right
Don't
here.
insult my intelligence.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it was like finding their sea legs, and they were panicking in the beginning because we didn't have a ship, and the studio was complaining about that, and fans were complaining about that. And I don't know. I thought our runabouts were pretty cool.
I wasn't complaining about it. I don't think
I was fine.
Well, we were fans from the beginning. There's a lot of people who are coming to it, which is absolutely wonderful.
Yes,
because there are so many people as they gotten older, I think, are coming to DS9. And because I think it was 2 days ago, somebody I thought was a Star Trek fan, he goes, "Oh my God, DS9 is wonderful." And I'm like,
wow,
wait, this is the first time you're watching DS9? He was like, yeah, I didn't watch it when it, I was like, what? Why?
Wow.
And he was like, because Voyager was on. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Young people.
Yeah.
Young people, yeah.
Cool.
Me being who I am, that touchstone moment when I think it was Core, and he comes to you and he says, "Curzon, my old friend," and you say, "Well, I'm Jazia now." He says, "Jazia, my old friend." And a lot for people who are now and probably back then trans or gay or whatever.
Yeah.
I want you to call me by this name now. And he does it. And he says, Jazia. He doesn't hesitate.
Right.
They did a great job with that.
They sure did. They sure did. Yeah. I'm really super proud to be a part of that. I really was super excited thinking when they said this is going to be the dark Star Trek.
Oh, and what did they mean by that?
Oh, sorry.
Were they trying to be?
I just like to look through the room.
Right. I mean, okay.
That would be dark like Star Wars, you know, and dark as in we would deal with deeper issues and more character driven.
Yeah.
Which is what I think they did. And it was shot darker too. It wasn't lit like everything's going to be groovy and happy every episode, you know?
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. It's the stories. The stories are still good. I mean, the writing was so good. Yeah. And it's just the way they told the stories, how that cast just got bigger and bigger as each season came along. But everybody in that cast made sense. You know, they made sense of the whole picture. And you guys right, and you guys had great comedy. The comedy, and the B stories were like so good. My favorites are like the beginnings of the shows, like when you guys are all together, sometimes on the Defiant talking, like the gossip part, you know, even the teasers, but just that the whole group together, the whole crew together, and the little bits and pieces, and God, I love that show. I just love that show.
Yeah, I told you we had a lot of fangirling to get out of the way. You know,
I'm good with
mine.
Oh wow!
I turned mine on. Did it go back on? I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb.
Oh yeah, mine too. Mine just did it too. I thought I put mine on too.
I don't know why it came back off. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, there were you and Nana, both of your characters for us were like these, like really serious role models for us. You know, and there was so much. I felt like like I remember you saying in the What We Left Behind documentary that like you didn't feel like you could really go toe to toe with Avery like on screen, like he was such a heavyweight, you know, and you felt like insecure about it. But let me tell you, from the first moment we saw you, we didn't see any of that. I only ever saw you as old man.
Right.
Like you brought old man every moment.
Well, I was talking about that one scene in particular in the pilot.
Okay.
Was it do I even say about the part how I pulled him aside and said, Avery, I need your help here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think after that, we were good. And I think he kind of, when he really appreciates it when somebody, or not appreciate, I think he expects someone to speak straight to him, and not bullshit him. And if you bullshit him, he doesn't have time for you.
Yeah. Wow. I can see that.
You're going to be vulnerable and be honest. I know that he appreciated that. And I think, obviously, it's so much more experience than I did coming into it. I just really appreciated how I felt safe with him in the scenes that we did go toe to toe after that pilot, because he had my back. I knew he had my back, and I could feel it, and he could yell at me, and I could just stand there and take it. And it was just a scene, but I knew he was rooting for me, you know, like he did the same thing with Sirach. And now I obviously wasn't as young as Sirach, but still, I think that he really was like a mentor to anybody who he respected and knew respected him. And he really appreciated you doing your best. You know, doing the best you can. That's all you can ask.
That's it. It's my captain. I gotta tell you guys, like I'm looking really cool and calm right now, right? But I literally have goosebumps on my arms, and like I don't fangirl a lot. Like, but for us we have wanted to have this conversation with you for the longest, and you've been wanting to have conversation with us for the longest. So it feels so good to finally have it come to fruition. And you know, we just don't take it lightly when we get a chance to tell the people that we love how much we love you. You know, I mean, because like you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We don't know that we might ever have this opportunity again, you know, so we always say it like, and we say it from the heart, but you know, it's really something special for us to be able to talk to you.
I'm so honored to be here, and you have not given up on me.
No.
I'm in a much better headspace. So I love you so much for loving me so well. And I love you guys. You guys are wonderful women, strong, powerful women.
Thank you.
You're beautiful.
I
got that recorded.
You just put that on repeat.
That's it. That's going to be a meme right there.
Yeah.
I love you.
So,
love you.
Oh,
you were a role model to us, you know, and Nana was a role model to us, and I'm interested to know who your role models were at that time, and who might be your role models today.
Wow, you asked me a tough one.
That's my job.
Oh my gosh. Well, well, Avery became one of them. Definitely.
No doubt.
Role models. My grandmother, I would say. I mean, I'm trying to think of an actor, and it's like, no, I think you mean someone I know better. My grandmother, she was a RN, and she was a nurse that worked in the United States, but during the war, the Second World War, while my grandfather was away in the Second World War in France. and in Germany, unfortunately. He was fine when he came back. Thank God for that, because not
everybody was. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was just really, ahead of her time, in the 70s, she became a nurse practitioner and she worked for Planned Parenthood.
Wow. In the 70s, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Way back.
She is a pioneer.
Yeah.
And I was, pardon me, way too young to go in there.
Yes.
I don't think she would have been happy to see me if I was old enough to go in there.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, really special, very smart woman. And I could even talk to her about, like, I'm saving money for this or that, or how I was investing. And then she talked to me about what she was thinking about doing. And she's just a really, very strong woman. And I was never afraid of her. She always spent extra time with me because I was the oldest. You know that thing when you're the oldest and the little one's cute and you're not anymore?
Yes.
With me.
Yeah. Grandmas are the best.
Grandmas are the best.
Yeah. She sounds awesome. She sounds like somebody that I can see inside DAX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as one of her role models. And then I think women who reinvent themselves, I can't think off the top of my head, but when I see that happen, I think, I mean, this is my one life.
Yeah.
What is it going to look like? And I quit my career to be an at-home mom, and it was absolutely worth it. Best thing I ever did. Starting my career now is challenging.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because I did the important thing, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a sister here, like at least two sisters or three sisters. There are two, but one in particular, Sabrina, who's really like reinventing her life. Like I always talk about that. We talked about that on another show. I can't remember who we were talking to, because I was talking about like how I look at my mother has had so many different incarnations in her life. And each one of them builds on the other. And even though it can be a completely different livelihood, but how much strength that gives me, because I know that when one thing ends, it's not the end.
Right.
Yes. My mother did that too.
Yep.
She was a hairdresser, and then she went and did back to college, ran a new business center, then worked with my dad in the hospital. He's a data systems analyst. She started working on learned how to use them. So she's no dummy either. But yeah, that reinventing yourself, that permission to say, I need to shift. I feel something's coming up for me that I need to explore.
Yeah. I gave up the CPA life. That's what they're talking about. I was a CPA and I was going for partner at a firm, the whole thing. And I decided to retire and go to film school. Like, who does that?
You do. You do that.
Best thing ever. I remember walking into film school and all these 18, 20-year-olds and me. I was over 60. And I just said, I have found my people. I have found my peeps.
Yes.
That's the best.
That's important.
So
yeah. You encourage all kinds of people. You know, young, old, men, women. Yeah.
It's never over.
It's never over. No. Not until it's over.
Find out that
until I don't see this.
You're smart enough to be. Smart enough to be in the corporate world. I was, but I didn't fit in it at all. I mean, at all.
Yeah.
So I went to human services, and I shine in human services. So.
Yep. You gotta find your calling. Hopefully, we all hope we find our calling eventually. Because sometimes you just take a job just to take a job, and then
right?
You got to pay your bills, and then hopefully you find that thing that you've always, like when you were younger, you're like, well, I'm gonna be a superhero. And then you go off and you sit and then you're a secretary, or something like that. But eventually eventually, life keeps going, and you might be able to become that superhero, later on. So
Yeah,
I always, hopefully, strive, get that passion going.
And hopefully you can find many callings, right? More than one. Like, I think that's the thing that I'm finding in my life, that like, oh, okay, I had a passion for this, but I just realized I also have a passion for this, or it might not even be a passion for it. It's just something, oh, okay, I like it. And now it's become part of me, and now that, like, the more these things that I try, the more I'm less afraid to fail. And the more the word failure doesn't enter into my vocabulary, and the less it means failing. If that makes sense.
It just means you're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? You shift failing to learning, because they say when you succeed at something, you're not learning anything new about yourself. But when you fail, that's when you go, I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. I see I'm still thinking about your grandmother working at Planned Parenthood and in the 70s, which is just so boss. I mean, that takes
right when Roe v. Wade, passed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have women like your grandmother. I have women like your grandmother to thank. I mean, I was born in 71, and she was there paving the way for me if I needed Planned Parenthood services. And I used to go to Planned Parenthood here in DC just for my regular OBGYN care. Like, I was young and I didn't have a doctor. I went to Planned Parenthood.
A lot of women.
Yeah. Because it is healthcare.
Yes,
it is healthcare.
Some people seem to forget. Right. That's what's scary with what's going on with the banning of abortions and not having Planned Parenthood protected for services for women's health.
Yeah.
People do tag it as an abortion clinic, but it's way more than that.
Way more than
that.
So much more.
And abortions aren't just about not wanting to have a baby.
Thank you.
No.
Not at all.
No, my gosh.
Not at all.
How many women have already died this year?
Yeah.
It's shameful.
It's very shameful. But it's the way I was just reading Nana's book, Open a Channel. It's fabulous. You've got
my copy should
if you
be
have
like
not
tomorrow.
read this book, you've got to read this book. I mean, the Nana's intro is just crazy. The stuff that the things that women had to go through, will go through, is just sometimes soul crushing.
Yeah. And she has quite a story.
Yes. You all have quite a story. Because I couldn't even get through that whole thing yet. Because there's so many there's so many. I cried at least twice reading this book, listening to the stories that these women are telling. It's a lot. You please, if you're a Star Trek fan, please read this book. You will get to know these women as the characters, but more importantly, as human beings, as women, same women that we are, that had to go through the same BS that we all have to go through, and sometimes on just a higher level because it's right in their faces. I think I forgot exactly where I was, but I was just so that book. Wow, the things that, oh my God, when she said the things that men would say to you all, and the things you had to deal with. I have to say how lucky I am that I've always worked for the government. So, I've always had that and I've always worked in a leadership role, strong leadership role. My thing was always, it was a race thing always with me. I never had the women thing where I had to submit or anything like that. I didn't have to deal with. At least I don't think I did. I might have and just didn't realize it because there was so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, but I think the other is kind of a big thing.
Yeah. But I think maybe that's why I was taken aback by all of this I was listening to. I know it goes on, but it wasn't in my face as much. I think I'm saying that correctly because I don't want to demean it in any way. I don't want to lessen it. I just didn't have to go through it. And it just broke me. because I have daughters, I
Yeah.
have nieces,
Yeah.
that I'm pretty sure, I know my older daughter had to go through these things. It's read this book. Read this book. Read the book,
I'll tell
please.
you, I was one of the first women that went to a college that had been all male.
Mhm.
So in 1974, we
What?
infiltrated the
right.
school. That was something.
And not
mean,
just all male, Sabrina, like all white.
All
too.
white.
oh yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
All white
Because
men.
it's easy to forget, of course.
mhm.
And I came from an all-girls school, so this was like the most incredible culture shock I'd ever gone through in my life. But
Yeah.
you know, it you have no idea. You have ideas, but it was just crazy the things that was said to
Were you
us.
harassed a lot?
What? I'm sorry.
Were you harassed a lot?
No, I was never harassed. It was more of just a you can't be here. Why are you here? I hate you. Why are you at the school?
That
And it was
sounds
coming
like
from the-
harassment.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
it was
okay. I guess it was verbal harassment. But
Yes,
coming
that's
from
what
the
it
priest,
is.
verbal
it was
abuse.
coming
Yeah,
from the
it's
priests
abuse.
themselves. The priests
well,
said it to us.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's-
still and that's
Rude.
abuse. That's harassment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Did
Yeah,
y'all
but
see?
it was
I didn't go
wild.
to college, but I know that's harassment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. It's definitely harassment, Sabrina.
Yeah, okay.
Y'all
But
I
like
was
me,
harassed.
you were
You know,
probably
he's
dealing with
harassed.
so many other
Someone who's
things.
educated.
Yeah.
Did,
Uh,
did
it
anybody
was,
else see the statement that Sally Field put out about it was gut wrenching.
Oh no, what she said.
About what?
She
When?
had an illegal abortion back in the day when she was 17 years old.
Oh,
Mm.
And she said this is the first time because she was, she's we're not going back.
Right.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
And she
Thank
had
you
to go
for bringing
through-
us back around, friend.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. But
Yeah.
and when I looked at it, it was gut wrenching to me. She was 17. She had to go to Mexico.
Mm.
oh my
to get it
God.
done. And she, her doctor took her.
Then.
Look it up. She is actually her, and she said, I've never shared this with anyone.
Mhm.
And she had to go to Mexico and get it, no anesthesia. And she said, we're not going back. We have to get Kamala, excuse me, Kamala, and because we cannot go
Tell her
back.
that you heard
And
that.
she said some weeks later, she got the part of Gidget,
Oh,
the
wow.
All-American Girl.
Sure.
And she
Wow.
said, guess what? I was the All-American Girl
Mhm.
because a lot of us was going through that.
Mm.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was before Roe v. Wade,
Right.
just before Roe v. Wade. And I'm like, oh, what carriage? And it's out there. I couldn't believe it, but it really touched me because she shared that with
Mhm.
basically the world,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so remember,
Yeah. We need
we're
that.
not going back.
Yeah.
But-
We need
So,
that.
Can't go back.
right, Terry, one of the reasons when we wanted to talk about was why we feel it's so important to vote for Kamala, and I know you feel really strongly about that. Did you want to say any words?
Well, I'm contemplating sharing one of those kinds of stories.
Mhm.
If I hadn't, I had an abortion when I was 21, 20 or 21. Now I'm old enough, I can't quite remember exactly.
Uh-huh.
Totally get it.
But my mom took me. I'd started my career at 17,
Mhm.
but I lived alone in Los Angeles. There was no way I could take care of a baby in Los Angeles. I wasn't married. And I remember going in a lot of shame,
Yeah.
Mhm.
a lot of shame at me. And they started the procedure before the anesthesia started.
Oh my God.
And so I know that pain. And I had scar tissue from it.
Mhm.
But what was really unforgivable was how much shame they load on women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was-
Yep.
That's not
Yeah.
okay.
It's not okay.
One woman that goes screaming with joy to go have an abortion.
Right.
All of us give it a lot of thought. There's a lot of fear around it. And the only person that's going to have to live with it 100% is the mother.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I didn't want to be a working mother. I wanted to be an at-home mother. That was really important to me. My mom had to work. I had to do that as a kid. Now, there were people and neighbors around. It wasn't like we were abandoned or anything.
Right.
But the truth is, you're still alone in the house. And unless something important happened, you know, your mother says, unless someone's dying, do not
open that door.
Right?
Don't open the door. You don't all of that, right?
Oh, yep.
So I wouldn't have had my career. And I don't think I would have been a very good mom because I didn't want to be a mom. I wanted to have my career.
There's no shame in that. None whatsoever. And I hope anybody out there that's listening to us or is in the chat or anything, there's no shame in this. This is your life. This is your body. You do what is right for you and hopefully safely.
Yes.
Please don't ever feel shame. I do know someone who could not get an abortion because of that fear of shame and killed themselves. This was when I was a teenager in high school, and the shame was us as friends who did not see this coming. I still think about it.
Sure you do.
You know, this was a young person who we were all going to go to college, you know, and the first person I knew my age that died, and we all said die. We would never say suicide because then that was another shame. But yes, I always thought of abortion as something that is a decision. I might not think it's the right thing for me, but that doesn't mean I get to make that decision for anyone else. Okay, I don't get to make that decision for someone else. That is, I never understood, even when I was a kid, I never understood why is someone else making this decision? This is the only person, well, when I was a kid, my parents and me, right? Why is everybody else? So yeah, I just want to put that out there because it just came to me as you were saying this, that I know people, the shame of this is huge and it can drive people to do many things. And not only will having a baby, and you can't have a baby, harm you, but a lot of people will harm themselves if they feel that they cannot go through it, they cannot talk to their parents. And with all of this going on, you know, they feel like there's no way out.
Right.
You know, so please talk to someone. Don't go through this alone. There's a lot of help out there, and hopefully I will try to get some links in the description for people to find out more information.
To have a conversation with somebody who wants to hear what you have to say. And will support you. Shame starts addiction. Shame starts.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Shame starts a lot of bad things, and there's nothing that's worth being to shame someone over. They're already feeling bad enough.
Right. Right.
Yep.
I feel like I feel like this whole election, you know, I mean, this is really, there's so many issues that I just don't understand how people can, I mean, I do understand it, but I don't like inside because that's not how I'm built, right? Like I am not built to dehumanize another human being and to build my wealth or my security on the back of somebody else and on their pain, you know. And I feel like this election is so much about my existence as a woman, my existence as a Black woman, you know, my friends' existences as gays, lesbians, bisexuals, transgenders, whatever. You know, it's so much about our very existence. Like that is what's on the ballot. You know, and every time I hear somebody talk to me about and it's not shiggity, like the border issue is a real issue. That's not, you know, these are real issues that people, but at the same time, I'm saying, like, how in God's name can you make that more important than your daughter or your wife's rights? You know, like, I mean, I hear all these there's so many issues going on in the world, but right now I got to start right at home, you know, because I very much fear what will happen if Trump gets elected again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a fearful situation, and it's a real fear, and it's visceral, and it's, you know, and it's not to be minimized. And I know many, many people like me who have passports ready to go. I know a lot of other people who say, nope, I'm going to stay and fight, you know, but either choice is legit. I got no judgment either way.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah. How about the environment?
Right.
Oh,
That's
another one.
That one's,
I'm sorry, I jumped. I really wanted to say how she says about turning the page and moving forward. And I remember when we were fighting for the right for our friends, our gay friends, to get married. Marriage. In Iowa, I'm from Iowa, very proudly, I would say. It was the first state to legalize gay marriage.
Yes, it was.
But with being born in 63, it doesn't seem, I mean, you can say, yeah, there's been progress. But I remember when we were fighting for our friends to be able to get married, saying, you know what, we're not free until we're all free.
That's true.
And you've been fighting that your whole lives, and your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents, and on and on and on. But this should be non-negotiable anymore.
Right.
Aren't we tired of having that conversation?
Yeah.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly. And she aspires that hope anyway, but it's who she is and how she presents and everything about her ethnicity that to me feels like that gives me goosebumps, thinking, oh, please, that would make such a difference. I felt like the world was a better place when Obama was president. Right?
It was a joyful place. That's
It
what that's,
was. Oh my
you
God.
know,
Doing well.
we were doing well. Yeah.
And if you look at all those, and then we can jump to the economy, and if you look at every Democratic president, we did better.
That's right.
Every Republican president, we did worse. The deficit was out of control. Right. Clinton fixed it. Then Obama fixed it. It's just, but they keep ruining it. We fix it and they ruin it. And in a couple of years, they're sliding on the gravy train that was created by the Democratic president before them.
That's right. That's right.
They sure were.
And blaming us for the stuff that they messed up.
Those are facts people can look up. Not watching Fox or MSNBC.
That's the problem. Facts.
Look it up in the New York Times. I mean, these are, you can look this stuff up.
You can.
You can.
You could Google it.
I also think when I hear him brag about, I gave the situation back to the states, the Roe v. Wade, you know what else they wanted to give back to the states? The right to own human beings.
The first states' rights.
25.
The first states' rights.
Yeah, the first states' rights was giving it back.
They wanted
owning human beings. That was the first state rights.
That's what they wanted to give back to the states because of the, you know, the Civil War. They were saying states' rights.
Yeah, first time.
So I connect the two. I really connect the two. Oh, so you don't remember that they wanted to give the states the choice whether or not they could own human beings. And now you're doing the same thing as you don't want the states to know that, you want the states to decide whether or not a woman can make a health decision. It's the same thing. It's the same thing to me. I said, look at this. Look.
Well, flustered for you, Fran.
Right.
I just, and
So
they and he
It's
said
an
it
old
proud.
trick. It's an
He
old
said
trick.
It is. It's an old trick. Yeah.
It
It's
is.
definitely.
Well, there's a lot of, they do a lot of gaslighting, and they abuse people, they abuse their constituents, and then they pick people to blame for the problem, right? And that's been their way, though. That is the way. This is a continuation of the mentality that brought us slavery, right? It's a continuation. It comes out of a system that's already was defined in Europe as treating people less than, because and making up some crap about nobility and being closer to God, and this is already a way to treat, I'm saying it's all part of the same family. And this is just the continuation of that now, so I feel like it's vitally important. I feel like every vote that we can get now that is a democratic vote is of the utmost point, especially, and I mean, this is just on the personal level, but on the larger level, I really do believe that this is a true fight for our democracy. You get into the heat of the campaign season, and you get lost in the trees because everybody's throwing out one crazy thing and another crazy thing, and oh, let me respond over here. Oh, let me respond over here. And meanwhile, when the smoke clears, the forest is fucking burned down, and there's no goddamn country left.
Right.
Because now we're a dictatorship, because we gave this crazy man this power, because we let him institute a kangaroo court, and so, so there's so much, it's really so much more.
Yeah. How about he did say day one, he would be a dictator.
He did.
That's right. He said
it would be one day. Because he also said, don't worry, I get in the office, you'll never have to vote again.
He said.
I want to vote. That is not only my privilege, my right, but it is my responsibility as an American to protect our Constitution too. All of us. It's our responsibility. It's fragile, as we can see. The last presidency he had, oh my God, that was a shit show.
Right?
Total.
Complete and utter.
It was a damn circus.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
It was absolutely embarrassing.
You were embarrassed for
get out of stuff. And you're like, how is he getting out? Right. How is he getting away with everything?
The only president that could pick a fight with Canada.
How do you get
the Canadians mad at us? Wow.
That's I was going to say something. My brain had a chance to think about it, and I decided not to.
Right.
I do have ADHD, so that doesn't always win.
Yeah, I got you.
It is frustrating.
Oh my God.
I know. We're all
right there with you.
I mean,
I'm not alone.
No, not at all. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it's serious, but at the same time, I said this before and I say it again, we have joy and love on our side, right? And we have, and I always believe that even though we go back and forth in the overall picture of things, we keep pushing forward. Right. And I don't want us to lose sight of the fact that, we lost a battle, when he got elected the first time, but we lost that battle because frankly, troops were sleeping on the job, right? Yeah. Nobody, and I'm talking to all my fellow Democrats and all these other people who said, oh, Hillary's got it in the bag, I don't need to vote. Y'all motherfuckers, excuse my language, were sleeping on the job. And people, you made my black ass live.
Half the country
Trump.
Did not vote.
Half the damn country did.
Serious.
But they needed that wake-up call. They needed it.
The whole country did.
So complacent. The whole entire country, because we've been so complacent that things were going. That happens, unfortunately, to human beings. We have really short attention spans, and we have very short memories, and we start living in peace for a while, and we forget. Guess what? We still got a lot more work to do, and guess what? It can be taken away just like that.
Can I say something?
Sure.
It really ticks me off when people say, why didn't she do that in the last 3.5 years?
Oh, God.
president.
Civics class, please.
Right.
You,
And,
Oh,
and
my
these I'm
God.
sorry, these idiots are believing that. They're going around like saying, like, with such a surety, she had 3.5 years. I'm like, no, she didn't. She was
He
the
was
vice
the vice
president.
president.
Plus, you were
I see
blocking
the vice
everything that
president.
was being tried.
Yeah.
What's that?
Plus, the houses were blocking every single thing that anyone tried to do.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the same thing happened with Obama. So if you
Yeah.
don't,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
everybody's got to vote Democrat all the way down the
All
ticket.
the way down the
All
ticket.
the way down the
Mhm.
ticket.
Got
That's
to.
But I take solace in the fact that 81 million people voted against Donald Trump
Yep.
yes.
when Biden got in. We put in an older gentleman
But he
and a
he-
black woman because
Yep.
we were paying attention by then. We
Yep.
were so pissed about how he did it. What the other guy, we were so okay. It was like we got to get rid of this guy. So those 81 million people, and they were all legit, by the
Oh.
way. It was
Yes, sir.
proven.
Yeah.
it's
They
very
went to
rare.
court. They did,
voter
yeah,
Right.
and even judges that he appointed threw it out saying, "Show me the evidence." There was
Right.
no evidence of it being collusion or anything like that. So I'm gonna take solace in the fact that 81 million people told them, get out of here.
Oh.
Yeah.
They don't
get
teach
out.
civics class anymore?
So
Well,
no,
there you
And
go.
a lot of schools, like, they don't teach civics.
Well, there
They
you go.
Wow.
well,
Yes.
nobody's paying attention.
What'd you
or
say, Terry?
retaining.
There's government in high school.
Yeah,
Some-
I thought
some-
so.
Yeah, but in some high schools they have stopped teaching that.
They stopped-
Government classes?
How
Yeah.
can I think they're teaching it, but are the kids paying attention? Are they retaining?
No.
Well, obviously, if they're
It's
making those
not.
statements, yeah.
Well, maybe some of them didn't get all the way through high school.
There's that too.
Mm.
But I've seen people who have degrees say that nonsense, But I think a lot of people, this is just like, to me, it's a lot of gaslighting going on. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
and yes, and this. What happened to why is nobody watching Schoolhouse Rock anymore?
Right? We need to all be blasting out some Schoolhouse Rock.
I
and
wish they
just-
would put that back on because that stuff taught me a lot. I'm like, ooh,
That's how. Yeah, I do all of that stuff.
I'm
Conjunction.
just a bill.
What's your function?
Your function.
Right. Here's
Enough
look at Tanya.
words
The people in government
and
should
changes
know
in
at
law.
least.
Yes, they should.
Because I mean, you were over there in that White House. I mean, you didn't know. I mean,
And I was in high school so a long time ago, and I know there are 3 parts of the government. I
Yeah.
know that. I
yes.
retain that. And shit. I mean,
But look,
yeah.
I think that, like, we have such a lot of momentum built up. I'm so
Excuse me.
excited that people like yourself and other people who are in the light, like, just shining a light on and speaking your minds and trying to convince people to vote and saying what you believe, because it means a lot. It does help. And now is not the time to be silent, and now is not the time to be afraid about what might happen to your career and et cetera. Now is the time to pick a line and stand behind it, and you guys have.
And really check your registrations.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because there was some crazy thing in Georgia. I saw it on my Instagram feed. I reposted it, but somebody got in the system and has been changing people's registration.
Wow.
It really happened to Jerry Ryan. Someone took her off and she had to go back on, which got me to check mine. Mine was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then when mine was fine, I ordered my absentee ballot right away.
Okay,
I just
okay.
thought, then that's in the mail. So we're good.
Right.
I am
Oh my
on October 19th to vote because that's when I can vote here in Santa Fe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But just double check everything. And sometimes when you're young, I just came from visiting my son in college. And I don't think this goes away. I think the country is so big, you might think, how would my one vote make a difference?
Oof.
It does.
But it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it, honest to goodness, the more people you can get going with you to the voting booths, so you make it a fun thing,
Mm-hmm.
as teenagers or the 18-year-olds and up,
Yep.
make it a fun trip. Make it a day trip for those ladies out there, or the gentlemen. Hey, make it a friend date. We're all going to go vote, and you know, people do it with colonoscopies. Let's do that with voting.
The last few elections were ties or less than like 100 votes. So everybody's vote counts, because there's a lot of ties that's been going on, and they've had to have runoff elections. So that tells you that you have to get out there and vote. And like Terry said, and we said at the Women of Star Trek event, just make it a thing. Always make it a thing. Make election day should be a holiday, a damn holiday. First of all,
it should be a national holiday.
It should be a national holiday.
I agree.
And then, you know, get your friends together, because if you have a friend that's like, if you all do it together, that person's going to end up voting. You know, you got to make it a thing where it's really good. I mean, you can bring. I always brought my kids. I always vote election day, because I always brought the kids with me. Just be careful. Don't tell the kids how you're voting, because they will tell everybody. Just be careful, because I loved it when they used to love to pull the lever. So now we're just pushing papers in, but they used to pull the lever and the thing would close, but then they would tell everybody who I voted for. So, but just make it fun, because they vote now. You know, they never miss voting, and you can have a cocktail party, or Tamia and Fran, you can have a mocktail party.
That's right.
You know, it could be a thing, or you could come hang out with the SyFy Sistas after you vote, because we're gonna actually have a voting show that Tuesday. So anybody could come to the chat if you want to come on the screen. Terry, if you want to come back, you're welcome to come back and just say, "We won." We can do that. So.
Well, I have your number now.
You do.
That's right.
Yes, I do. But yeah, it's important.
Sabrina, you okay?
Sabrina. You all right, Sabrina?
I'll come back.
Terry has my number.
So look, Terry, I know we got to go. And I just want to say thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I want to go to dinner with you guys.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
More.
Yes.
Are you gonna be on the cruise? Do you know?
I wasn't invited this year.
Oh, those people.
What? Who's gonna do the yoga? WTF?
No.
We're gonna have to fix that.
Y'all, we need to write ECP, everybody. I'm telling y'all. Y'all start sending some mail into ECP right now, because how are we supposed to have the cruise without Terry?
That's
not even right.
That don't even sound right.
Look, I'm just saying, no disrespect, but they can kick off one of them TNG people who don't show their faces anyway and bring Terry on.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
I love that, Tamia.
I'm just saying. I mean, Terry can't say it, but I can.
Right. We can all say
I'm
it.
not under anybody's contract.
Right. Because all they want to do is hang out in the back. So I mean,
they don't come hang out with us.
Right.
What'd you say?
I want to teach yoga every day in the bar, because not make it drinking.
What?
It's in the morning. Nobody's
in the morning. Yes.
Nobody's in the bar.
Right.
Cindy.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
You could teach yoga.
Gross.
You could teach yoga to like 53-year-old me, like whose like joints are all stiff and everything. Like, and I'm like, this is as far as I can lift my leg.
In a year. I had foot surgery last November, so I'm hobbling a little bit. But I went to work out today for the first time in a really long time.
Yay.
I booked a whole week, and I'm like, when I got up to get the shoes, I was like, oh my God, my thighs already hurt.
I know the feeling.
I got to get it back.
Yes. I'm trying to work through my midlife crisis and the
Your
tummy.
midlife crisis. Wait a minute. How old are you?
I'm 53.
To me, I cannot wait to have a conversation with you when you're 106.
Good.
She says,
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
This is right now, and I'm 60. So
go.
I'll be 120. You'll be 106.
Right. And we'll be gumming it up and we'll be like,
no, not anymore. Now everybody got
you have a full set of choppers.
And that was so scary.
And I am having a birthday this Saturday,
What?
along with a party, and I will
Yay.
be 70 years old.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Fran.
Yeah,
That's
happy
right.
birthday, friend.
And I've been watching Star Trek from age 11 when it first came on.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Jamal said that McCoy was 137 when TNG started. We're not even at the halfway point yet.
That's okay. You got time.
You definitely got time.
Yeah,
Yes,
you don't have to be there.
70 and fly. Look at that.
Oh.
That's right. You know it. But I'm serious, y'all. Write ECP Cruises and tell them to invite Terry, because we want Terry back on the
We
cruise.
gotta get
That's some sugary shit right there.
Yeah.
Don't like it at all.
I'm not even happy about that.
I'm not a fan of that one. No.
I was all
Yeah.
set.
Is this year a big Voyager year?
Yes,
Yeah.
that has nothing.
Yeah,
that has nothing to do with the conversation.
What's that got to do
Terry.
with
got a
I
goddamn
mean,
we ain't
That's
talking
a
about
small
that
cast.
at all.
That's a
Right?
small cast. They can
Hey,
do
no
it all
joke.
the
Yeah,
way.
that little ass cast ain't got nothing to do with nothing
Nothing to
we
do.
talking about here.
They
bring them into
y'all.
this.
Let me just say, they brought on a child, like a lovely person, but that we had not even met on screen yet. They brought her on the cruise
Yes,
last
they
year.
did.
They can bring you on the cruise.
That's
like
right.
I'm saying,
They
we
sure
didn't
did.
even know who this child was.
Right.
We didn't know who she was.
And they
We
brought her
found
on the
out
cruise.
afterward.
Mm-hmm.
Was she
Yeah.
from one of the latest ones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was
Yeah.
on the later.
Those.
She's awesome, and she's really wonderful, and it was wonderful to meet her
Yeah.
and stuff.
But we didn't
I'm
have
just-
a clue.
I'm
I had
just
no
saying,
idea
we
who
didn't
she
know
was. So I mean, what's the point of that? I mean,
Right.
she
Like,
was
I don't
great,
even
but
understand that.
yeah, no, we're gonna be talking to people. That's fine.
Yeah, we gonna put our candy. We're telling you,
Because
SyFy Sistas Army.
We do talk to
motivate.
them.
Yeah.
We have done it, and we have made changes. Take my word for it.
You were
real serious.
for
Fran.
president. I
was-
you're on my side.
Oh, yeah,
That's right.
Look, okay, Terry, I know we are like
You
over
gotta
time,
go.
and we gotta go. And
Mhm.
I love you. We love you.
Yes.
Yes.
Have a great birthday, Terry. Next month, right? Have a
Next
great
month?
birthday. Next month is your birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, fellow Scorpio.
Thank
Just
you.
wanted to put that out there.
Scorpio.
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, don't forget about
Happy
the
birthday,
DJ.
friend.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We'll
Yeah,
fix
yeah,
the
yeah.
DJ. All
Yeah.
right. We love you. We love you guys. Thank you, everybody, for enjoying in the conversation. Thank you, Terry. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We love you guys. And peace, love, and hair grease, my friends.
Woohoo.